Hi Cancer, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad that you found me. This is your secondary portion to your May 2017 Astrology and Tarot forecast. I hope you enjoy it. This is a general reading for my Cancer viewers and friends. So I've got my cards and I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling for y'all. I also want to remind you that your planet, your ruling luminary, if you will, is the moon. And the moon will be full on the 9th or 10th of the month, depending on where you live on the planet. And that will be playing out in your 5th house. So things are probably going to feel very emotional for you around areas of your children, of your creative and artistic endeavors, where you spend your time creating things through crafts or hobbies. Can also be your social life, your social circles, where you go to blow off steam, the area of your pleasure as well. It's a house of romance, so things might be a little emotional for you. I suggest being a homebody and playing in hot water. It's always a good cure for the full moon blues that us water signs can experience from time to time. The moon is your ruling luminary, but the water signs feel it pretty strong too. I have a Scorpio rising, so that's why I say the water signs feel it. I know I feel it, but then again, I'm a sensitive, so. But I think we all have our own sensitivities. It's just who tunes into it and who ignores it, you know? Alright, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and cut the deck for you. The bottom card always represents the underlying theme or overarching energy for my spreads, and the top 3 are for clarity. If you want a time frame, past, present, future. Now I'm going to shuffle for you the Divine Circus Oracle deck. This deck is by Elena Fairchild. Alright, I'm going to cut the Oracle deck for you, Cancer. Alright, y'all. Here is your Divine Circus Oracle card. Now what I'm going to do is hit the pause button, flip these cards over, do the tarot math, and I'll be right back with your story, y'all. Hang tight. I'll be right back, Cancer. Hi Cancer, I'm back with your cards, so let's get started. The underlying theme or overarching energy for this spread is the 4 of Pentacles upright. This card speaks in a couple of different ways, so let's dissect it. Firstly being, the 4 speaks to that 4th house on the astrological wheel, which is ruled by you, Cancer. That's the house of home and family, or our roots and foundations. The 4 also speaks to the energy of stability. This card reflects the embodiment of security and material items or material things and feeling stable. And I even see this as a penny pincher and someone who knows where all of their money is, and their money is always on their mind. Not just their money, but also their resources. So it could be that you are concerned about the money in the family or the money in the home, the resources within the home that are being expended. You have Jupiter transiting through the 4th house as well, which is an expansion in the area of home and family or roots and foundations. So wherever Jupiter goes, there is increase, expansion, excess. There can be achievement. Jupiter really amplifies the energy of whatever house it transits through. If you've been experiencing good things through that house, and you'll probably be experiencing an increase of good fortune. However, if it's not been so good, then it may not be so great. However, with it being in the upright, it does seem to be more positive than negative for the majority of you Cancers out there. And the issues of your resources and your family and family growth seem to be quite prevalent for you for this year. And it could be that some of you are finding out that either you are pregnant, or you have children who are pregnant and you will be a grandparent, or something to that effect. Or something that you're doing at home will end up being creative and more fruitful for you in that 5th house coming through this next year, because in October of this year, Jupiter is going to transit into that 5th house for you, but we'll get to that then. The Pentacles represent Earth sign energy, and the Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We have the Sun moving through the sign of Taurus right now, and that is your 11th house, dealing with your friends, groups, memberships, teams, associations that you belong to. It also is the house of the internet, and it is also the house of your future wishes, goals, and dreams, or your bucket list. For some of my more mature Cancerian viewers, it may be that you are looking at your will and determining who gets what and where. Now, the first in the top 3 for clarity that fell for you is the 3 of Wands. The 3 speaks to that 3rd house. That house is ruled by Gemini, and it's the house of communication, short distance trips, siblings, cousins, neighbors, and your neighborhood. It is also dealing with the embodiment of creativity. I want you to look at the posture of this card. This individual's hand is pointed towards the future position for me. His back is turned, not able to necessarily look at the situation head on per se. May be difficult to see eye to eye with this individual if it's somebody that you are actually communicating with. But this card deals with preparation and foresight. I also see this as a choice card, where one choice out of 3 options is the preferred, where they feel like it will propel them the furthest. I also see this as being in a doorway. So, the wands represent fire sign energy, and the fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And you've got Mercury going direct in Aries, meeting up with Venus and Uranus in the 10th house, dealing with your it'll be like communication, dealing with your money or your relationship. And the 10th house can be a money or relationship house, because it is your career and your status. Your status can be your relationship status or your marital status. Dealing with authorities and destiny as well. You also have Mars in Gemini right now, and that's in your 12th house. So you may be dealing with difficulty sleeping. Either like insomnia or very, very sexual dreams. One way or the other. The second card that I pulled for you, which can represent the present energy, is the 10 of Wands in reversed. And this 10 of Wands can represent several things, so let's dissect it. That 10, speaking again to that 10th house on the astrological wheel, that 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. And that is the house that I like to think of through the lens of William Shakespeare, because he said, pardon me, I could feel that coming for a minute. Let me grab a drink. Pardon me, Cancer. William Shakespeare said, all the world is a stage, and I Think of the 10th house as the stage that you approach the world on and how the world knows you through your career, your status, and your reputation, your dealings with authority figures in your world, in your life, the people that you have to answer to on a regular basis, but also authority figures in their field of expertise, like a doctor, teacher, lawyer, dentist, surgeon, that sort of stuff. The number 10 is normally associated with the theme of completion. I also see it as the end of a cycle. This card normally represents the feeling of burden or responsibility. And with it being in the reverse, I feel like it could be that this burden or this responsibility could have landed in your lap. It could have been a situation where the rug was pulled literally from underneath your feet, and ever since your world has been turned upside down, and you are dealing with and struggling with the responsibility and the burden as much as possible. For some of you Cancers, that burden or responsibility could be getting out of hand. You could be literally head over feet in it and you need more help. But for the others of you, it could be where you are you're struggling with it, but you are maintaining. It isn't fun, but you're still wrestling that bear. There's a saying that I say, I don't know how popular a phrase it is, but, and I learned it from my former mother-in-law, Roseanne Hill. Rest in peace. She's a Cancer, by the way, which is interesting that I'm saying that during this reading. She did pass in April as well, which is odd, because I'm doing this on the last day of April. But anyways, she would say, I can fight a bear. If I know for how long, I can fight a bear. As long as I know that there's a timer. But if it's going to be indefinite, then no, I'm not going to do it. But I can fight a bear. And it's kind of that energy of, I'm fighting that bear. When's the dinger going to go off? You know what I mean? It's like, are we down to the final countdown? I've only got 5 seconds left of energy in me, but I'm going to give it hell. It's that kind of energy that I feel when I see this card. Now, the final card that I pulled for you in the top 3 for clarity, which represents the possible future, is the 6 of Cups in reverse. One other thing that I want to talk about with this 10 real quick. You've got Uranus in the 10th house, which is dealing with shocks and surprises, but you also had Venus retrograde go through there as well. And actually, if we're getting technical about it, we had Mercury tiptoe through there too, going retrograde. So you've been dealing with reflecting and doing revisions and reevaluating and possibly reconnecting with people as well. So, all right. Now, that's that. So, we've got the 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups, the 6 speaks to that 6th house on the astrological wheel, which is ruled by Virgo. It's the house of your work and health, or the competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. It also deals with your daily life, your daily agenda, the daily to-do list, and the daily grind, the things that you do on a daily basis that makes your life easier. And it is those daily interactions as well. Now, the 6 of Cups, the 6 is known for the embodiment of the spirit of growth and evolution. The cups represent water sign energy, and the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. We are having that full moon in Scorpio in your 5th house, and the tie-in is coming. Hang on. It could feel very emotional. This card deals with innocence and nostalgia and reflections on the past. I also see this as a childhood or youth memory type card. I see this as a karma card. And I also see this as benevolent giving, where you have enough for yourself and then some to go around. What's interesting is you have Saturn transiting through your 6th house. Saturn is a planet that represents structure, limitation, containment, restriction. People like to think of Saturn as the taskmaster. I like to think of Saturn, or I'm starting to think of Saturn as the grumpy grandfather who will teach you life lessons in the harshest way possible, so you learn it the first time. Another way that I think of Saturn is the strictest building code inspector ever. And whatever house in your astrological wheel that Saturn is going through, if that house is not built to code or structured properly, then it will be demolished. So that you can build it properly, so you can stand on it and it can hold the weight of who you are. Saturn going through that 6th house could be that you're dealing with issues with people not staying in their lane when it comes to your work or your health. Could be that you are not paying attention to the doctors. And I know a Cancer personally who is not a good patient. It could be where some of you are dealing with issues with your bones and your teeth, because Saturn rules the bones and the teeth. It may be that you are reflecting as well on issues of your childhood. And it could be looking at the family structure and how you are able to now see how it was done when you were a child may not be the way that it needs to be done. And how maybe you doing it with your children the way that it was done when you were a child may have inflicted some harm on them. And that's more for the mature Cancerians, not for the younger ones. For the younger ones, I feel like this is just really a situation where they'll be stupid. Cancer, you have the ability to kind of see things coming before they come to you. It is a 6th, 7th, 8th sense, however you want to name it. And sometimes it's a gut feeling, whatever you want to call it. So if you can see a situation coming and you still dive into it head first, then it qualifies as you are being stupid. Don't let any of the shocks or the surprises or even the burdens that may land in your lap make you bitter, because those situations arise to make you a better version of who you are. And our emotions are, they're muscles that need to be worked as well. And it's been pretty emotional for everybody, this Venus retrograde. The world's been kind of crazy. Everybody's been on Facebook saying, what's going on? Everybody's done lost their damn mind. Well, yeah, kind of. We're all reflecting on what matters the most to us right now. We're all looking at what we value the most. And then realigning ourselves to those values. And that can make people feel crazy. Change can make people very anxious. There's a lot of anxiety in the world right now. Now, I did the tarot math for you on this spread, and it ended up being 23. 2 plus 3 is 5, and that speaks to the 5th house on the astrological wheel. That house, once again, is ruled by Leo, the house of sparks. The spark of love, the spark of life, the spark of creation. It's where you have your fingerprints and DNA all over it, because it's where you've got the most skin in the game. It is the house of your pleasure and your social life. It's the house of your children and your creative abilities and your artistic endeavors, where you go to blow off steam and where you go to make art and make love and make babies. This 5th house is going to be where the full moon is playing out in Scorpio, and it's going to feel very intimate and ambitious and possibly even sexually charged. Probably going to be really playing out very nicely for you Cancers who are attached and in a positive, healthy, well-working relationship, one that has survived the Venus retrograde, because Scorpio is the sign of sexuality, and your ruling planet being there could be that you're feeling very sexually charged. If that's the case, enjoy it. But there is that full moon in the 5th house on the 9th or 10th of the month for you. And it's also a sister sign. It's a water sign, so you're going to be feeling it even more so. You may even be embodying the traits of Scorpio a little bit, which would be interesting. Something else that I wanted to highlight for you that I noticed through the astrology is that your last two cards, the Three of Wands, no, the 10 of Wands and the Six of Cups, both represent two different astrological energies that we will be playing out in a trine between your 6th house and your 10th house. And I spoke about that in the astrology video that I'll have linked up in the information bubble above. So, let's go ahead and move on to the Oracle card for you, Cancer. I pulled the 21st card of the Divine Circus Oracle by Elena Fairchild, and this is the Red Countess card. It has hummingbirds on it. If you feel so inclined, I invite you to Google what the hummingbird spirit totem animal or spirit animal meaning is. There could be resonant messages for you there that you may get some wonderful information from or help inspire you in some way. I hope that's the case. Once again, 2 plus 1 is 3, and that speaks to that 3rd house of communication, short distance trips, siblings, cousins, and neighbors. That is the house of Gemini. That's where Mars is right now, that 12th house. So you may be dealing with communication in one way or another. It may be secret communication. It may be hidden communication as well. The Red Countess has appeared to remind you that you know. She's showing up in this spread to remind you of what you already know or what you know and you may be convinced otherwise against. It indicates that no matter how convincingly someone or even you might be able to talk yourself out of it for a while, the truth will always be around again to be dealt with eventually. The Red Countess is also imploring that you give your truth value, to speak your truths in love, and to know what is and what isn't worth acting on, even if and only if the action means to just trust more and to stop worrying so much. You may need to unplug mentally and physically, and that may include your actual electronic devices as well. Some of us are so overstimulated right now because of the amount of information that is inundating us at all times, from our phones to our laptops, our tablets, whatever it is. Give your body and your nervous system some time to unwind and get back in touch with the raw and unplugged version of yourself. The Red Countess is also confirming your intuition and visions or dreams that you've been dealing with. Trust yourself and act from your authentic truth. It may be that you need to journal and reflect on what's going on in your dream space, or what you find out, what may be coming to light because of the full moonlight. Who knows? Really depends on what's going on in your personal chart, Cancer. But that's what I see going on for you for the month of May 2017. I'm sending you so much love, and I do hope that you're well. I hope you enjoyed this reading, too. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I'm going to be around for some more readings coming up very shortly, and I hope that you enjoy them. I do hope that you're well. Please take care of yourself, Cancer. Please be kind to yourself. Save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. And don't be afraid to reach out as well, Cancer. Sometimes you can get very trapped in your emotions. Don't be afraid to say it if you need help. Take care, y'all. I'll be around soon. And until then, namaste. I love y'all, and bye.